Coming up today, we're going to finish our bracket for the best Disney song ever. We have some news to talk about, and we have a trip preview that we're going to discuss. That's coming up today on Traveling with the Mouse. Welcome, everyone, and all to Traveling with the Mouse. My name is Adam. I'm your host this week, and I am joined today by John.
I get the hubbity and the floomy.
Apparently, the Swedish chef is taking John's place.
But
I also have a Jason.
What's up, everybody?
Jason.
I was trying to be like you, Adam.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone?
What? Oh, you did the bull? Yeah, because I couldn't do that today.
I didn't get it in there. You know, what?
What's up, everybody? Yeah.
Bwah. That's how you spell it. It's BWHAT.
Something like that, yeah. If you had to spell it.
Z, probably.
Yeah. If we had to do captions, I have no idea what it would try to do, but anyway.
What it would look like.
What would it look like? So Jason is our tiebreaker this week for finishing our bracket. We used ChatGPT last week, and there's probably a few matchups that
It would have been changed.
Yeah, that would have probably come out different, but also
An alternative bracket. If you're doing the basketball tournament, you can on ESPN, you can make up to 25 brackets.
oh wow.
I don't recommend we do that many, though.
Well, if we had put more effort into it as well, I think we would have had better songs. I thought of a bunch more from the parks I would have included, but
We'll have to log that away for a future.
Yeah.
The next time around.
Next year will be literally the best song.
Next year, it's just going to be all Tiana's Bayou Adventure songs.
Maybe. Could be a whole bracket.
You think you can come up with, well, how many did we start with? 32? We didn't go 64, did we?
No, we didn't. I mean, that would have taken forever. But yeah. No, we didn't.
Either way, we are down to, what are we into? 8. Okay.
Elite. I wouldn't call these Elite 8, but there's at least 4 of them that are really good.
So they're just 8.
Some bad songs got in somehow.
They're just 8.
Yeah. Well, we had 4 categories. The 4 categories we had were classic Disney, like animation, modern, then it was live action, and then it was the parks. So
came up with that all by ourselves.
Yeah, right.
Did we decide that we can just ignore the live action part and go with the original?
I mean, no, but
Let's just say it's not likely to make it past the final 4.
yeah. Well, from that category, the final 2 are Reflection from the live action Mulan versus Belle from the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Tough one. I'm going to go with Reflections just because I like the fact that it was sung by the original artist and it was done well. So,
Okay.
Christina sung it yet again.
I'm the tiebreaker. You have to go next, Adam.
Well, you're not the tiebreaker if we don't tie. Because I think I would probably pick that one too, actually. Reflection. That'd probably be my choice.
So the only
Y'all are
question
going
is,
to deny Hermione the win? Really?
we are in this case.
Belle wins.
He's going with Belle.
All right. Well, Reflection moves on, though. Because that's what I pick.
Your opinion matters not.
Yeah. Well, there we have it. So, again, that category is not my favorite, but
It's not likely to win. That's what I said.
correct.
Oh, we're going to band together in the next round to vote through Reflections one more time.
Jason's trying to form an alliance like this is Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Didn't y'all do a bracket? I have like $1,000 riding on this.
Oh. We've got a Pete Rose situation here. Interesting.
Or a show and tie. Or what is it?
Yeah, I didn't even come to the
Otani.
first round of votes, but once there was some money on the line, here I am to influence.
There's no betting on baseball. Okay. Modern animation. Let's do this category next. And this is a tough matchup, I would say. How Far I'll Go from Moana versus We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto.
It's kind of a tough one. You know, if we were using a different song from Moana, I would probably take it. But I think I'm going to go with Bruno.
I'm going to go with Moana on this one, How Far I'll Go.
Oh, so we have a tiebreaker.
That'd be my choice.
I mean, of course it's a catchy song that We Don't Talk About Bruno is, but it is not one you want to hear all the time. It would get stuck in your head like an earworm.
Yeah.
But you want to feel uplifted and happy. You want to know how far you'll go.
Okay.
That's why I Moana. Obvious winner. Come on, John. Me and Adam.
Well,
get it
it's a
together.
good it's a
There
good
was
song.
$100 on that game. I'm just kidding.
It's a good song, but it's not my it's not even my favorite song from Moana. My favorite song from Moana is the Away Away song. You know,
They actually, there's a lot of good songs in that.
there is.
Mhm. It's almost like they got someone really good at writing songs.
Yeah, just like Encanto, though. Anyway. Okay, these are the better two categories. So we're down to When You Wish Upon a Star and A Whole New World. This was the animated one. It's considered classic, even though it's Renaissance era, which I guess now would be
Tough
classic.
call for me.
When you wish upon a star. I mean, I gotta go with that one. That's probably the most iconic.
It's most
Disney song
iconic, but I mean, if I had to choose which one do I like better, I think I kind of like A Whole New World better.
Well, I'm going with Wish Upon a Star.
So you're leaving it up to me again.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to say A Whole New World for me. We're going to leave it up to
Because-
Jason for a second time.
I mean, when you wish upon a star, right, that sits with you for a moment. But when you think about how you feel and what's going to bring out that emotion and be something you want to listen to and just sing along in the car, come on now. A Whole New World every single time.
What? You are going to betray the most, like, recognizable song associated with Disney?
So that's what you're going to play along in the car? Hey, kids, you want to listen to When You Wish Upon Us? No, you're going to want to
Yeah, but
I can show you the world.
so what song would you rather
Don't you
have
dare close
playing
your eyes.
when you drive through the arches of...
Oh, yeah, when you're driving through the arches, of course. That's the appropriate time to play that.
Nah.
Okay.
Well, they're both, you know what, they're both songs used frequently in like nighttime shows, right? At least now, like lately. Right.
Okay. Well, this is not what I expected. It's not what I predicted.
You're in shock. You're in shock. This is just like the basketball tournament.
Yeah, I feel like
There's
this
lots
is
of
a
shock.
huge upset in my opinion.
I told you there was a lot riding on this.
Yeah, I guess so, because I actually thought this would win the whole
Yvette
thing.
Farm.
Adam's going to stop talking to us. I'm never coming back. He liked it when ChatGPT sided with him.
Yeah, speaking of, just out of curiosity, let me ask.
You gonna say who was gonna win?
Because I'm like, I need somebody to agree with me here. Okay, here we go. ChatGPT is talking. Choosing between When You Wish Upon a Star and A Whole New World is like choosing between two quintessential Disney experiences. One that represents timeless magic of Disney's past, and another that captures the adventurous spirits of its renaissance. Do I have to go? It's still talking, so I'm not going to read all this. But if I had to pick, I might lean towards When You Wish Upon a Star. The song is iconic, not just in its film, but in how it represents the Disney ethos as a whole. Yeah. Its melody that, no matter what your age, transports you back to the first time you believed in magic
I mean,
and wishes coming true. However, the choice is incredibly subjective and depends on what resonates with you more personally. The promise of dreams fulfilled or the thrill of new adventures.
okay.
So what I'm
I agree.
hearing is that Adam has been brainwashed by the
Artificial
GPT
intelligence.
bot.
The AI.
The AI has hypnotized him.
I think it made a great point, though, that
Get it?
That you're wrong?
No, that it represents the Disney ethos as a whole.
Well, that's what we were saying that made it this far, but sometimes it doesn't make it all the way to the end.
Okay, I don't know.
Means that it makes it all the way to the end.
Well, here we go.
Move along.
Here's the next. It's the Parks matchup.
The Pox.
Grim Grinning Ghosts versus Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
You sang that in. You sang it right on in.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I know which one I'm going with.
I think I know.
Where the Cryptos creak and the tombstones quake.
And I'm going to go with Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow because Sherman Bros.
Hello, one of these songs has Thurl Ravenscroft.
Well, the other was written by the Sherman Brothers, so, how can you not go with that one?
Well, yeah, one of them was written by
This is probably Walt's favorite song, by the way. Just saying.
Okay, so we have
Disney.
Adam voting for Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Yeah.
John voting for Thurl Ravenscroft and the Grim Grinning Ghosts. There's a couple of things. Grim Grinning Ghost, of course, is always a classic. So is It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. I've been thinking about inscribing something Disney permanently onto my body. I have no tattoos, and I've been thinking, I was to get a tattoo. What would I get? I wouldn't just want a Mickey, too basic. I want to get It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow tattooed on the arm, and if it's going to make it on the arm, it's the number one.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to say you wanted Thurl Ravenscroft tattooed on your arm.
No. I'm going to go with my man Shane back at Parkeology and be on the Wally Bogue train.
Wally Bogue doesn't have anything to do with Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
I'm just saying, between Thurl and Wally.
Yeah. So I think I see your.
Maybe we should consider that for one of the categories next year as like Disney icons type deal, like Disney Legends category.
Disney let's get a bracket where Joe Rohde goes up against Bob Chapek.
Yeah.
People who have been named legends.
Yeah, there you go.
Not in their own mind.
I don't think you have to name Chapek to be a legend. I think, there's like the good legends and then the infamous legends.
Or we have a villainous legends edition.
Villains bracket.
Yeah. Ooh, this is good.
I wish we would have thought of this sooner.
We're not gonna remember this next year. But
I'm gonna put some kind of reminder. I'm gonna start putting it on my calendar now.
Put a calendar invite for next March for us to do this. We have to wait for Joe Rohde to be a Disney legend first.
Right.
Exactly.
And
then if next year they announce Chapek, we'll include him.
Oh my gosh.
We'll just include him. We'll have a bracket of former CEOs.
Well, what's going to happen is...
Hey, there you go. Former CEO bracket. That's
if people vote the Peltz ticket, then we'll be pining for the days of Bob Chapek.
Yeah, that's coming up soon. Will be interesting.
In case you're wondering, we don't usually take very firm stances on this podcast. And I'm going to go ahead and say I'm not the most informed, but I have maybe a slight bias. I voted for the board ticket. I voted with Iger with my shares. I know it's gonna sway a lot in the big scheme of the vote.
John voted.
I did.
Didn't you? I thought you said
it'll be interesting. Oh yeah, I did. It'll be interesting to see how this. Do they actually give? I don't know what you would say results. Like, can you see how
they
it
do?
Ended up?
They have to put it out there in the shareholder meeting.
How it ended up in the shareholder meeting? Okay.
But it's basically down to like the 5-10 biggest shareholders. Like they just have to sway the like mutual funds and all that stuff. So
apparently it's close enough that it's a big deal. It seems like. I don't know. We'll see.
There's enough support.
It's going to be between now and the next time that we talk. It's going to be decided because it's
while you're there next week. It's next week, and then like April 6th or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You're
gonna be there. No, when is it? I forgot. It's early April. I remember that. It's not the 6th, obviously. Anyway,
well, whatever it is,
we'll talk about it.
It'll be on a future episode of Traveling with the Mount.
Okay, so it sounds like Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow won that.
Oh, is that still? Did we wind back to the bracket? Wow. We finally made it back.
Yes, we looped back. I asked ChatGPT, and it also picked Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. But
it's shining at the end of every day.
Boo.
Do you want to know what it said? Oh, probably not.
No, please.
We should gloat over John for winning that time. I feel like it was last round I was gloating with John against Adam, and now
Yes. I can't believe you went against When You Wish Upon a Star. I'm still stunned by that one. But
Look, you just got a victory. Take it. Move on.
The Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow song's message of optimism and looking forward to a bright future resonates deeply in today, especially in today's world. Wow, AI. It
Yeah,
captures
we got
Walt
stance.
Disney's.
way to take a stance.
Yeah.
Should we ask ChatGPT if it's voting with pelts or ice?
Oh. Should I? Yeah,
It
let me
won't.
ask
It won't respond.
Yeah, because it'd be like, my data's like not up to date enough on that. Anyway, it's down to the final four now, but we'll do that in a minute. Let's do some news. The big news, well, one of the big news of the week, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And
That's
John,
music.
you were digging into the conspiracy theories on this about the
Conspiracy theory? No, they did something
opening
similar
date.
with Tron. Remember?
Yes, they did, but they also announced it like the next day.
True.
So I'm like, why are they?
Well, again, this is one of those things where, like, we're not saying it is, but it could be. Like, what's the whole purpose of them?
All right, just take us through the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, so they announced some new critters coming to the attraction. So some animules. There's with names. So there's Balia the beaver. How do you say that?
Yeah, I think it's Cajun, but I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Balia the beaver. Okay, so there's a beaver, Gritty the rabbit, and this is the one that he's doing the gritty, but we'll get back to him. Bo the possum and Apollo the raccoon, Rufus the turtle, Timoleon, did I say that right? The otter. So new characters, but the one in question is Gritty the rabbit, who's holding a license plate. He plays the washboard, which is basically the license plate. That's his musical instrument. He plays it with the handle of the hoe.
But the significance was what was on the license plate.
Right. So he says
What was
LA,
theorized.
which I assume is Louisiana, and then it says 23, but then it's 52872 are the numbers on it.
And so what are the secrets of the numbers here?
Well, what?
528.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, what somebody
Why
said was
why did we ignore the 23 though?
the LA was for Louisiana. 23, they think, when the characters were named. That's what was. That's
2023.
That's what this specific one said. And then the rest, they were thinking 528 might mean pass holder preview, and 72 might mean
the actual
the actual
You
opening
think they're
date.
that planned at this moment?
I'm just saying that that's what was brought out there. I didn't say I created that. I'm just saying that they think they're saying there could be some significance to this, like they did with Tron.
Yeah. I feel like if there was, they would have announced the opening, like the pass holder by now.
I don't remember how soon after it was with Tron. It was pretty quick,
It was
but I don't remember how
the
soon.
day after. Maybe it was.
Was it that quick?
Yeah, I feel like it was like the morning they released that, and then the afternoon they.
I will tell you why genuinely I don't think that's what this is because they didn't like tweet this out or anything like they did the Tron thing. I think I think if they're going to do that, they're going to try to be obviously not obvious, I guess. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, did they pull these numbers out of nowhere, though? I mean, they have to mean something, though.
That's what you would think, kind of like the numbers in Toy Story, right? Whatever that is that always shows up everywhere. Those
they don't do anything without some meaning, right? They usually
exactly. That's why people kind of started thinking about this. Like, oh, what does this mean? Could it have something to do with the opening date? Could it be? I feel like there is some significance to it. We just haven't figured it out yet, or someone hasn't figured it out yet.
Well, what happens if the dates move?
They'll change the artwork.
Do you think they've already committed to the printing of multiple license plates for the character to hold, depending on what they actually do?
I don't know.
They're going to put out a new one that has like a totally different set.
Right. Yeah. Right. If this is going to be on the attraction that he's holding it, then there's got to be a reason.
I guess what I was going to say, I guess what the point there was why is he holding this? I mean, a license plate makes no sense.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody else was holding anything. He was the only person holding anything. One thing I noticed about the beaver, right?
Yes.
Is the design reminded me of that squirrel from the original Sword in the Stone movie. You remember when there were squirrels and there was that one that was like a adult squirrel that was sweet on Merlin?
Yeah.
That's what it kind of looked like. The design looked like.
It does.
Even though it's not supposed to be a squirrel or beaver, but I'm just saying the face looked kind of like that. I just wondered if there was if that was almost like an Easter egg type thing.
The turtle reminded me of Robin Hood?
Yeah, Robin Hood, the nerdy one.
Yeah. Well, made me think of that too. But anyway.
Toby. I don't know why I remember this. His name was Toby in Robin Hood.
And the otter, actually, the face looks like the dog from one of the... Why am I blanking? What movie? Looks like the dog. Doesn't look like an otter's face. But anyway. Spring break crowds are kind of crazy this week. We saw Genie Plus at $39 a day.
I'm very excited for that next week. I'm like...
You're probably going to be paying that every day.
I already let Andrew know he's not going to college.
Yeah, right.
They have to pay for Genie.
Right. Golly.
I'm curious as to how busy it'll be next week in comparison to what it was. What was it, like 2 weeks ago?
This week.
Yeah, this week has been nuts.
Yeah, but there was a break for it in between that and the week leading up to Easter.
On the day we're recording this, Adam and I were hanging out earlier today. It was like a 120-minute wait from Mission Space.
Green or orange?
Right.
Orange, but still. It's the last time you saw anything over 40 for orange.
120-minute wait for orange. I don't know that I've ever seen this. A 2-hour wait for orange?
Right.
There had to be like a technical reason for that, right? Like they didn't have enough
I don't know, but maybe suddenly orange is making a comeback. Everybody's like,
I guess.
Maybe there's a Save Mission Space crowd out there we haven't figured out.
Well, they can have orange.
Yeah.
I am not an orange guy nowadays.
Yeah, I every time I do orange, usually with someone new that you're like showing around Disney and you're like, do you want to do the less intense or the more intense? They're like, oh, the more intense. I'm like, are you sure? And I'm like, I don't really want to do it, but if that's what you want to do, and then you get on it and you're like, I'll be fine. And you get off and you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Why?
I remember way back when there was nothing but intense. They didn't have two sides the first time I read it.
I know. That's why it was very unpopular.
No, but I'm saying, I remember the very first time we wrote it, my brother was not listening to what they said about the not looking around, and that's like the first thing he did, and he got off. He got feeling bad when he got off.
Yeah.
He was feeling pretty rough when he got off.
Yeah. Yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah.
The hard way.
And it says don't close your eyes, and then the first thing you do when you start feeling bad, close your eyes. So
yeah, I could imagine. I have never closed my eyes in there, but I could imagine that would make it horrible.
Yeah.
I have never taken that chance.
You have to like breathe like this.
Well, see, oddly enough, when you have something to focus on, you don't think about what's happening. But when you close your eyes, it's like your other senses take over.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, your other senses take over when you close your eyes. So that's the issue.
Yeah. If I knew I was spinning like that, I was probably not enjoy it. If you knew it was actually happening to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this news story as well and kind of get this out of the way because we don't really know the details yet on this because I think, but
you're
of
really
course,
excited about this story. I can tell. Just get it out of the way.
Well, I mean, it's the big story of the week that everybody will be talking about and has been talking about, but we don't really know the outcome yet of it. But the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District and Disney reached a preliminary settlement, I'll say, on working together, like the state lawsuit and all that. They're going to drop and they're going to work together, supposedly. Both sides have kind of said, this is great and we're going to move forward kind of thing. But it really isn't super clear, at least not to me yet, what is actually going to come out of this. And, is Disney going to maintain control? It kind of looks like it, but they're kind of still going to have the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. So what do you guys read into this so far?
I read into the cynical side would say DeSantis sees it as an opportunity to call in a win now, and then also try to come out being triumphant hero, partnering with Disney later as he gives them all sorts of breaks try to race Universal and sort of create a war, a theme park war in a state against as they all keep investing more money.
The theme park war already exists.
Yeah. I know, but he saw that Disney wasn't spending, and so he decided to.
Yeah, I think now it's like, we need, because he mentioned Epic Universe like 3 different times during this press conference he did.
I know.
So
it's almost like he's like, I'm siding with Disney. We're gonna take this bad boy down.
Well,
kind of. SeaWorld's over there like, yeah, we might build a coaster.
But like, nobody cares.
This is kind of what I think I alluded to a few weeks back
Yeah, I did listen back to one of the most recent ones we did. Maybe you mentioned this specifically before that, but you had said, something to the effect of it'll kind of just fade into the background.
Mm-hmm.
And
the original reasons for this coming about already has.
Yeah.
It's not even at the forefront of it. So I think this is pretty obvious that both sides are going to call it win-win when in reality it's really lose-lose. But they'll call it win-win.
I mean, come on, let's just admit, even all things are equal, Central Florida Tourism Oversight District it's just not a good name.
Doesn't sound as cool as Reedy Creek Improvement District.
What's going to happen going forward is it's going to be more of Disney's going to have some people on, and Florida, the state's going to have some people on. It's going to be more of a joint effort now than it was before, but it's still not going to be. It's still good. It's just it's changed forever as it is, but at the same case, it's also not going to be, because they're going to be able to do what they wanted to do ultimately.
Yeah,
we're not going to have news stories about every little thing going forward anymore.
Right?
It's just not going to be reported on.
Yeah, I think they both needed to get this behind them, so the better if they can work something out.
It's no surprise that we reached this resolution, if you want to call it that, after DeSantis was out of the race. So,
yeah, that was like his big campaign speech.
And I think for Disney's interest, instead of dragging this out, they need to.
It was a strategy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it boils down to. It was a strategy. It was a campaign strategy.
Right. But Disney needs to put this behind them so that they can start building, because they got to compete.
Yeah. That was never going to be. I mean, like I said, it was never going to be an issue long term.
I think the whole stare down was if DeSantis and folks had escalated by sort of holding back on construction. That's when Disney would have ratcheted up their spend, and it would just escalated the battle higher, and it was no longer prudent to escalate the battle higher because, as you said, DeSantis wasn't running for president anymore. So
now it's in the state's interest for Disney and Universal to just try to outdo each other again.
Just to take everybody's money.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I was talking to Adam earlier this week about if we listened back a year ago when I went for spring break, and I met up with you, Adam, and I remember the trip report. I complained about the price of Genie Plus, and now we're talking about it being $39.
Yeah.
I think last year I was complaining it was like 32 or something. It's like, is it going to be a year from now, or like going down for spring break? It looked like it's going to be 50 a day.
Yeah.
60. What do you think it'd be in a year? What do you think the spring break Genie Plus price will be 1 year?
I don't think it'll reach that far.
It will definitely break 39 probably by Christmas. Holiday season this year will hit in the 40s at least, 45 minimum. That would be my guess.
But they're going to keep selling out no matter what they price it.
It just keeps creeping up. So,
well, that's what
your friend went with you, Adam, and they said they would have paid like $100.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
he said that. He did say that.
And we repeated it on here, so
I know, right?
If they were going to charge that kind of price, I would say it would need to be not as restrictive.
Yeah,
that way.
Like get rid of the ILLs, but they're making money off that too. So,
I was talking to Adam about, like, I'm going on a solo trip next week, and it's like I've got this budget, and but I have to put aside $100 a day just for lightning lanes. And
Right.
because if you buy, which I'm not going to do every day, but if you buy the Genie Plus 2 lightning lanes or ILLs for one person, you're almost at $100.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on which part. And that was the other thing we talked about, and I've complained about this numerous times, is that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is not a worthy ILL. So, I mean, yes,
Anymore.
it's popular only because it's lower capacity and, gets a long line, but you don't need 2 ILLs at Magic Kingdom, but whatever.
John, Adam and I were talking earlier this week or today, whenever we talked about this, and I think I made a fairly controversial statement that Adam found surprising, and I want to get your take. I said that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the least thrilling coaster in Magic Kingdom.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say with any definite that you're right. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made there because
I think the Barnstormer first drop, even though it's like 20 seconds,
right,
outdoes the whole.
That's why I said there's an argument to be made. But then again, you got to think about what Mine Train really is. It's designed to be kind of a hybrid. It's a dark ride / coaster.
Right.
It is.
So,
yeah.
You don't put the dark ride / coaster on an ILL. You put the
I guess,
big coaster, the one big coaster, just charge for Tron. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. The fun part about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is going up the lift hill and singing hi-ho at the end of that's the best part.
And then the dancing Snow White without an arm.
Yeah.
But as far as the thing with Mine Train for me is doesn't hold a lot of repeatability as far as
Yeah. The dark ride part is the best part. The coaster part is it's
become
woo, and that's
it's kind of become for me one of those that I would just do like every once in a while. I wouldn't even do it every trip necessarily.
So do you agree it should not be an ILL then?
Yes, but I think one of the reasons why they're doing it is the number of attractions in Magic Kingdom, and they think it's probably going to throw off their dynamic when it comes to the rest of Genie Plus.
I think it's because of money.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, they had plenty that they took off of it before, in other parks, right? And when they adjusted it, so
I think it would book up really fast, just like Slinky Dog does. But Slinky,
in Magic Kingdom, they've already got several that book up pretty quick, right? Like Peter Pan and Jungle Cruise. I guess you could say that would create more.
Usually the first one you got to get.
Yeah, I say
now, but
Jungle Cruise, Pan. What's another one that's so popular one on regular?
It wouldn't be
Space Mountain, I guess, to a degree.
Train. Yeah, but Mine
Train would thin that out a little bit. Is what I'm saying.
It would.
I don't know. I don't think that's what they want.
Yeah, and then the other question that we pondered was, with Tiana's opening, will they do boarding groups? Will they do just
initially
regular? Will they make that an ILL?
What'll be interesting is, are they going to take the boarding groups away from Tron and give it to Tiana's?
And just make Tron a standby / ILL.
They have enough room queue wise at Tron to do that.
And they made
the
queue
Guardians
really, really bad so that you do not want to wait in it.
Right.
Yeah,
well, that's what I was going to say. Unlike Guardians, you actually at least have one.
What a terrible queue from the newest rides. Of course, it's a clone. I assume the one in Shanghai is just as bad, but that's not a fun queue at all.
Yeah, you get stuck in a room for 30 minutes where the first time you hear the spiel of in the rock, whatever, there are winners,
there are losers.
There are losers. Who are you? And then by the time you're out of the room, you're like, I think I'm in a mental institution. I've heard this 100 times.
Right.
And outside, it just has one of those classic back and forths, right?
Yep.
Word. So, all right. D23 is sold out for this year.
D23 is sold out. Okay.
Did Adam the Woo ever get a ticket?
He did, yes. He actually did.
Well, we'll get to see it then. We'll probably get to see it from a number of people, but Adam the Woo's take will probably be one of the funnest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about Adam the Woo's channel?
What?
He is one of the most entertaining with the least amount of effort. He
That's a
doesn't
good
really have
point,
to put
yeah.
a lot of effort into his videos to make them look good and everything.
He has a way with words too that
Yeah.
is different than most.
Well, he himself is entertaining. That's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the things that helps.
I remember
Just-
when we took our kids to Dragon Con,
Yeah,
and
he was
Adam
there,
and Lou
yeah.
was walking past the parade, and they got like so excited. They
Yeah.
wanted selfies with him.
Yeah,
There you go.
And he was kind. He was kind enough to walk over and let him take a picture. Yeah, it was very nice of him to do. Anywho, all right, yeah, but D23 sold out. We're not going. I actually, yeah, long story, but
You joined the queue. You were like a millionth in line, and you just didn't
Yeah.
want to wait.
I
And
think
then
I
it
was in
wouldn't
the
work anyways.
I was in like the 30,000s or whatever. Yeah,
And your
They had so
age
many-
started to show.
yeah, they had so many issues. Yeah, it took hours and then they had to stop it for a while, and it was not a great. Just like all the other virtual queues they have for getting a reservation for something, it's a disaster. But anyway,
We'll
What
have
were you
to
gonna say?
ace it soon, hopefully, for a pass holder preview.
yeah, I know, because I'm thinking that's going to be announced very soon. I would think so. Anyway, let's finish this bracket, and then we've got to get to the trip preview stuff. So,
We've previewed some of it. It won't take long.
but we've got several things to talk about. So, the final four: Whole New World versus Reflection. I don't care about this one, but I would pick Whole New World.
Adam is
So.
still so bitter.
But these are both
Whatever.
live action, or is this already
No, this
classic
was
versus live action?
this was animation. This was the
I'm gonna have to give the nod to the animation, The Whole New World
Wait, it's Whole New World versus what?
versus Reflections.
Reflection
The
from-
new one.
Mulan.
Oh.
The
What were you going to go with, Adam?
It's essentially the same
New
song,
World.
same person, but it's a newer version. But if
yeah,
I, had
was going to go
compare
Whole New World easily.
yeah. Despite my frustrations with it winning the last round, I would pick it for this one because of that. But
You're never going to be able to listen to that song and enjoy it again, are you, Adam?
not now.
You're going to be listening to it and you're like, I want to listen to When You Wish Upon a Star.
Yeah. Fine.
Let's see which one has the most plays on his playlist.
Okay. How Far I'll Go from Moana versus The Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
How far I'll go.
Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, man. Like,
Man, John, where is your hate for Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow? I mean, come on, man.
don't have any-
Every
I don't-
every round, you just
I don't have any hate. I just chose that because I know you were going to choose Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, and it was kind of like my protest vote for Grim Grinning Ghost being out.
oh, I see. So he's bitter
I've
beans
made
about
no
that one.
friends tonight. On one bracket, Adam cannot ever forgive.
It's kind of like voting third party. You don't expect it to win, but you just feel good that you didn't vote for the other two crappy choices.
Wow.
Well, except they're both good choices this time.
Are you a Kennedy supporter?
No.
Is that what
John
you're trying
F.
to say?
John F.
No, not that Kennedy. Robert.
Yeah, the JFK Elvis ticket.
Yeah.
Elvis Bigfoot.
Oh boy. Okay, so not quite the matchup I thought it would be, but Whole New World from Aladdin versus Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. This is it?
This
This
is
is the
the
final.
finals? Wow.
Okay, wait. Let me
Reached this too quick.
let me
No,
think through this. We went through this whole bracket, and you're telling me When You Wish Upon a Star didn't make it to the finals?
Yeah. Gee,
Thanks
surprising.
to
right?
somebody.
Big shot. I thought it would have been that versus Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, and then that would have been a really tough choice for me, actually.
Right.
This is not a hard choice.
I'm going to stick with A Whole New World just because I
But-
liked it better.
I'm sticking with Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
So in 3 straight rounds, John has turned his back on Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. He's just not very optimistic. He's not seeing it shining at the end of every day.
I know.
No, I don't dislike the song by any means. I just don't like it better than the choices I've been faced with. So
This is a song we need for the future of Disney.
Exactly.
You have to believe.
I just think that John, next time, well, we've never actually been to Disney together, but when we go, I'm going to force you to ride
Hey, I'll be all right with it.
Progress
I'm fine with that. I don't
10
dislike
times in a row.
Now is the time.
Maybe
Now
we'll see some
is the
malfunctions if
best
we do it that
time.
many times in a row.
Perhaps.
No, you will.
By
You
the end,
definitely
you might get so crazy, you'll go try to churn the butter on stage.
Just to get out of there. Go ahead and ban me. That's terrible. Don't do that.
Yep. Well, it could be worse because you go try to jump in the bathtub with Uncle Orville. I mean,
Yeah.
Never get any privacy around here.
all right.
Yeah.
You want? I'll show you non-privacy.
No
Oh,
privacy in this place.
Yeah. Well,
You freeloader.
what's it going to be? Do we save this for the very end since is this a hard choice?
Oh,
Man, I think I know what's going to win. It's not going to be Holy World. I know y'all have already established that.
it's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
You've
what I
already established what's going to win. I mean, come on.
We've been sitting here talking about it.
Well,
for-
let's
yeah,
think
okay.
about this. It did turn out to be a classic Disney song, theme park related song. So,
Wow.
I can't complain with that.
So
what are you saying wow to now?
because I
What
asked
3-paragraph answer did AI come
Yeah,
with?
I asked AI, and just cutting to the chase, it says, given the choice, its pick would be Whole New World. While There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow offers an uplifting message of hope and progress, A Whole New World encapsulates the essence of adventure and the joy of discovering the unknown with someone special. So, anyway.
There you go. John, it sounds like you're siding with the AI this time. I can't decide which one of you is the robot.
His
No.
brain. Yeah.
The one spending more
Well.
time with AI.
So, Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is the greatest Disney song of all time. I think we would have gotten there had we had better songs.
Maybe.
Is there any
It still
mixing
is.
song from the bracket that you would replace Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow with?
I just wanted to see the When You Wish Upon a Star, Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow matchup. But
Okay, well, let's go with the hypothetical. What would you have voted for? John.
Actually, I think I would probably go with When You Wish Upon a Star.
wow. I would have been
Once
a toss-up
again,
for
going
me,
against
actually.
Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
You really
I know it sounds like I really do, but I just don't. Again, I don't hate it. It's just not my preference between these songs that it's been faced with. So
It's going to be greatest Disney song of all time, and John won't have voted for it once.
Yeah, that's true.
maybe once. It depends on what it goes up against early on. Actually,
Yeah,
I think I
actually,
did
don't
vote
know.
for it early on, didn't I?
I don't know. I have to look back at what it was up against the first turn.
I mean, if I didn't vote for it at all, like the whole tournament, that would be one thing.
Well, it was against One Little Spark, and I feel like you probably picked One Little Spark the first matchup. So you may
Okay.
not have ever picked
I
it.
may not have ever picked it. Yeah. So what was that brilliant thing we said? Oh, that would be a great idea for next year already.
You already forgot? The Disney Legends
Well, I had the
Disney
legends.
Legends and then the Disney Villain
CEOs.
Legend.
Former, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, what was the first one that triggered this idea? I can't remember now.
It was the Bob Chapek versus Joe Rody matchup.
Yeah.
No, there was another one. There was someone that we mentioned. I forgot what it was.
Oh, Wally Bogue versus Thurl Ravenscroft.
Yeah, maybe that was it. That was it. That was what we came up with first.
So, yeah, no, that matchup goes back to our days when we chatted more often with the Parkeology folks, because I think that's their eternal battle.
Well,
Yeah.
I interact with Parkeology on Twitter quite frequently because I enjoy their posts about the old stuff here.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Jason has a trip coming up.
You got 7 minutes. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You got a minute and a half.
I think it's going to be a great preview to listen to what I say this time. And then when I get back,
Yeah.
hear what I actually did, because there could be a wide variance between
Yeah.
what we
I would
talk
almost
about.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a really fun challenge that you came up with.
Well,
Well, I
that's
wouldn't
neat.
call it, I guess, a challenge.
Yes.
And we kind of we talked about discussing the
Workshopping it a little
details
bit.
of it. Yeah, like, so I don't think John's heard this yet. So.
Yeah, this is our blue sky project.
So
beyond the
It's
Big
never going to
Thunder.
happen? Okay.
Yeah.
well, kind of beyond Big Thunder, yeah. Anyway, talk about it.
So there's a couple of days when I'm there next week where I could do a traditional challenge, but
Okay.
sometimes you don't want to spend the whole day doing all day run around the park challenge, but
Right.
I'm going to do something a little different. I'm deciding that I want to measure how fast I could start at the geyser at Big Thunder Mountain and get to the Millennium Falcon at Hollywood Studios, but the only mode of transportation I can use is monorail and Skyliner, and measure how fast I could get from one to the other.
Ah.
The workshop idea is it the quickest I can get between 2 points, or should I add some waypoints along the way to make me zigzag the park? And I think we were thinking just A to B. But we were looking it up, and if you go to Disney's website and you say, what's the best way for me to get from Big Thunder to the Millennium Falcon, it suggests you take the bus.
Yeah.
And it estimates your total walking and riding time to end up to be about an hour and 10 minutes?
I think it was hour and 1 minute. It was
hour and
61
1
minutes.
minute. An hour and 1 minute. So the question is it theoretically possible to use monorail and Skyliner and get there faster than you could via bus?
I actually think this is a challenge that the bus could win.
Yeah. Well, it's because the bus isn't going to Epcot, so.
Well, I was going to say the monorail has to take that stop at Epcot, but then you have to go from Epcot's monorail station
all the way to
Skyliner. International Gateway.
You're taking a lot more stops. Yeah. You're taking
the
2
issue.
monorails and 2 Skyliners.
I think that's the biggest issue right there, is having to walk across Epcot, the one that has the largest amount of space to walk across as it is, to complete this.
So I can't. You don't think I can do it in an hour and 1 minute? So what would be your guess? Let's suppose I'm going maybe not into the night. We're 1 minute away from Seven Dwarfs Mine Train power walking that Adam and I tried to do.
Oh, right.
Like a couple of steps down. So that level of intensity, trying to go from A to B. How fast do you think I could do it?
And you're not true power walking.
I'm going to go at a normal challenge speed, not a end of the night challenge speed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about how long it takes for each point right off the top of my head.
So I think if you go from the geyser, you would take the path that gets you through the Country Bear Jamboree bathroom shortcut and then walk out through the front door. I think that's the fastest path out of Magic Kingdom.
Or you just Liberty Square bridge it.
I think that actually is
Either way.
not the straightest. It's not the shortest distance between 2 points in that case, though.
Well, there's some zigzagging now. It depends on the crowd level too, I would think.
But you have to walk that full distance.
Yeah.
You have to hope
Either
the express monorail's there.
Yeah, if everything ran smoothly, I'd say you could probably do it in an hour and 20 minutes.
That's what you think?
So
That'd be my
I'm going
guess.
to say hour and a half.
Challenge. You said hour and a half?
Yeah, I'll say hour and a half. Just
In this challenge, if you were betting on, say, the hour and a half under, you take the under, which means you think
I
I
take
can
the under.
go faster.
Yeah.
Which would you be sweating more, the monorail ride or the Skyliner ride, for whether or not you make the time?
Well, the other thing I was going to throw in there, not only do you have to walk all the way across Epcot, you have to travel the longest leg of the Skyliner and then change Skyliners.
Right. So the odds of the Skyliner at least stopping for a minute or two are pretty high, but the odds of the monorail taking a long time are even higher, I would say.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Isn't the Epcot line, once you get on the Skyliner, something like 15 minutes as it is? I mean, it's pretty long.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere.
I don't think it's
in that
15.
neighborhood.
That sounds... I've taken a nice short nap on that line before, though.
Gosh, what is the...
It might be 12 minutes, but it's obviously way longer than the others.
Right. What did they say the boat took? Was it like 25 minutes or something from Epcot to Studios? And the Skyliner was like half that or something. Not half that, but
like 5 minutes faster or something.
Yeah, it was several minutes faster, maybe 10 minutes faster. I don't know. So,
Well, it's because you have to go in the opposite direction.
but the monorail, that's the one, that's the bigger question mark, because you got to take 2 monorails.
Uh-huh. So when you're thinking about taking the under hour and a half, I'm just saying, Adam, you're going to be sweating the monorail ride a bit more.
I would, yeah. You're gambling there, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You are gambling on that.
Another win for the Skyliner.
Are you?
Sure.
Isn't it the and maybe I got it wrong. Maybe it's the resort line. Is it the resort line that you can exit right into the Epcot line, or is it the express one? I can't remember. Because on one of those you can exit off and go straight to Epcot's monorail.
Yeah, I think
I forgot which one. That's
well,
what
I need to know
pointing.
this fact before I start my challenge.
that would have to
Which
be.
one is it?
This could
would have to be
shave
express.
seconds off of the time.
Yeah, because you don't have to go down the ramp.
Yeah, it would have to be express. Because the resort, I think, goes down the ramp where you have to go under both tracks.
So to get back to the original point, I kind
Yeah,
of want
because
to
the resort's on the inside.
Yes.
So it is the express. The express
Yeah,
you can
it's
jump
express.
right off and go to the Epcot.
And go
Yeah,
straight
I knew
across,
this.
yeah. I have done that before, yeah. Now
Yeah.
that I think about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's what, a minute of walking time? It's not that.
Well, it depends if the monorail happens to be right there at the time.
No, it's true. If there's one in the station
Final
and the doors are
boarding.
open,
Final boarding.
you could
Yeah.
just jump right on, yeah.
That could
Yeah,
shave
true.
off a significant chunk of time.
That's true, because you might be waiting for that Epcot monorail for 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you got to do the agonizing, loop around the entire Epcot.
Yep. But you always like seeing pictures of the monorail doing the loop. You just don't
Yes.
want to be on it.
Yeah. And then you got to zigzag down the monorail station through security again, then clock in.
Stop for Joffrey's right before you
See, that was the other thing. Are we going to have these little challenges where you have to take a picture at a certain point of
Like,
your journey?
I have to get a picture with Barbas along the way.
Right. Well, that would be.
Was that a
And,
bonus challenge?
I'll get a margarita while I'm here. Why not? 3 hours later. Oh, I'm supposed to finish this. My bad. Guess I better get back out there.
Yeah, the worst amazing racer ever.
Right.
He got to waypoint 1 and he ran into Barbas.
Yeah. And it's over. So that was the other thing, John. What we're looking at the maps and everything. I was like, is Millennium Falcon actually the furthest point?
I was
Hollywood
wondering why you
Studios?
chose Millennium Falcon.
That was my choice. I felt like it was the furthest point to walk into Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios.
And after looking at the map, I think it is, because you would think where Rise of the Resistance is, or maybe even the marketplace would be the furthest away. But when you look at it, walking Millennium Falcon is as deep as you can get in the
Right.
park.
I don't know.
So
I think I've rope dropped
It is, but
everything
you know what?
there.
You know what would cause you the furthest walk to probably try and get to?
What?
Swirling saucers.
No,
'Cause
I've
'Cause
rope
no matter
dropped.
which way you take, though,
I've
you're gonna
rope
walk
dropped
further.
every ride
well,
almost in Hollywood Studios, and so when you rope drop it, they walk you up the initial rope. The shortest is, I feel, Tower of Terror. I would say Saucers or Slinky are a little bit longer, but the walk into Millennium Falcon is everybody's walking to Rise, and the one time I peeled off and went to Millennium Falcon instead, that was the longest rope drop walk I've done. So it's definitely the farthest.
especially if you go,
it probably is.
go the ABC commissary way and then down, and then just go all the way to.
That's the
Falcon.
fastest way to get there, I think. I don't think going through Toy Story Land is faster.
You're gonna have to walk it off now.
I know. Well, we looked at the app, and it suggests taking the ABC commissary way from the entrance.
If you're talking furthest points from one another, though, wouldn't it be maybe Big Thunder and then something in Animal Kingdom? I don't know.
But you can't get there on those two modes of transportation.
Yeah, we're
No, you
saying
can't.
no bus is what he's saying. Yeah. So it would be
Not so far. You can't get there.
something where you don't have to do bus.
We discussed that if you really want the furthest point in Magic Kingdom, I'd have to start at the Snoring Man at Tom Sawyer Island.
That's the furthest point.
Yeah.
And you'd have an excuse to ride the raft. Not that you need one.
Exactly.
So yeah, that would be actually an interesting one too.
So of the three different ways to travel and ride something, would you be most worried about the rafts, the monorail, or the Skyliner?
The rafts, no.
Well, let's think about this. The Skyliner has more stops, chances of more stops, but they usually don't last that long.
Right.
Monorail, you never know what could happen with that. I mean, it could be, you could be without a door.
You could be held though for a while, depending on the train in front of it. If
it could break down,
or it could be the driver's last night, and they decide to take it full throttle through the contemporary one last time.
Maybe. And there you go. Get done. Well, hopefully you won't go through the contemporary if you're doing express on the way back. But
so you're gonna start in Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
I feel like that's the best place to start.
And just to throw this in there too, we were looking at the map, and I was thinking, like, is Storybook Circus actually further away? But according to the walking, if you started from the train station to the entrance, it's a 1 minute shorter walk from there than it is from Big Thunder. So
now, if we're talking from one attraction to the other, why don't you just do it both ways? You're going to you're going to ride Big Thunder. And then
you could.
Then you're going to go take the trip and see how long it takes. Then once you're done, you're going to go back to Big Thunder and take by bus to see which one was the longest.
Wow. So let's see, a round trip.
Yeah.
For our Beyond Big Thunder round trip?
I guess so.
Yeah.
You're going to take the monorail and the Skyliner, and then you're going to have to take the bus back just to see which one was truly quicker.
Huh. And then the other question is, which route should he take at Epcot? Does he?
Well, of course, the Canada route.
Just make it quick, or do we make him walk the whole perimeter of World Showcase?
I mean, you just walk as far straight through as you can and go down.
Swim across.
Well, people have tried, apparently. A lot of people have done.
Are you saying which is faster, going the land route or going straight through the middle? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Actually, what about if you, since that's another form of transportation, you take the friendship boat from the Canada to Morocco?
No. That would do way slower.
But it's another transportation. Make him do it.
Take as many now you're making the objective to take as many forms of transportation as you can between Big Thunder and
basically, except for a bus, right?
Millennium,
just no
Falcon.
bus.
Except that one of them is a ride. Thank you very much.
Right. Sure.
The rafts ride.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have to take the rafts, then take a Main Street vehicle to the front.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you gotta catch a Main Street vehicle in the hub by the castle, and then take it back to the front.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Do you have to do one lap on the riverboat?
No.
And then from there, since you're already going to have a monorail ride, you actually have to take the boat back to Poly, then get on the monorail.
So follow Sir Pooley for this. What day are you going to do it? Is this going to be out by the time?
Like I told you, we're going to come back to this, and it's going to be a completely different adventure. My plans are I have dinner booked every day that I may or may not go to. Because
you just have to have it in place.
Well, have an option in place. Sort of think of where I want to be. I have a couple good ones. I have the sushi place I haven't been to booked.
The new one in Japan.
I have to do that. I have Enzo's Hideaway booked because I miss it.
Good one.
Yeah. And I had a Monsieur Paul, but I decided that I've just really liked Chefs de France the last few times I've been there. So I just decided to go Chefs de France instead. And what else did I book? Oh, I have a Via Napoli, just like always. We always book a Via Napoli, and we still yet to follow.
You've got to do it. Try that pizza, man.
I was going to say, you always book a Via Napoli, but then never actually go?
Right, because we book it, and then somehow we're still at La Cava.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's kind of how I used to be with Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah.
There's no telling how many times I actually booked it initially and never stayed in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've remembered the shows all this time, guys. I booked Animal Kingdom Lodge. You're really sprung for it this time.
Then I finally did it.
And
Oh,
then
we're
later,
staying at Car Suite.
yeah.
That's
Good
the
times.
real. That's what the real odds makers put it on. John books a trip, and they place bets on how accurate his trip preview from the first episode to when he actually takes the trip,
Right.
is.
Especially if you take one and you book it so far out, you have more opportunities to change.
Yep. Well, we've decided we're going to stay for 3 nights, and we're going to do one at Legoland. Oh wait, no, we're going to 3 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's part of the fun, though, is optimizing up to the very last minute.
Well, I remember like when you're booking, let's say way in advance, the rooms that are harder to get, you want to do those well in advance, right?
Right.
And then as time goes on, if you get a better deal on something, you switch it, of course. So,
Yeah. Well,
So is there anything else for me to say about this trip other than I'm playing it by ear? I want to see Luminous, which I haven't seen. I haven't watched on YouTube either.
yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see your
right, see it live.
You may have a room where you can see it
right
or in the room,
well,
right?
This is a DVC stay, 7 nights, Riviera Tower Studio.
So it depends. You could get the Epcot view or the resort view. You don't know yet?
I know, but there's very few, I think, that can't see Epcot. Even in a, like, I remember I had one where I had to turn my head to the right last time I stayed in the Tower Studio to see it, but
Okay.
that's it.
James has a trip coming up in May in which they're doing, they've rented points at Riviera.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Are you going in, was it June? You still thinking June?
Yeah, I mean, the kids want to do it. It's probably going to be a shorter trip, but the kids want to do one after Olivia graduates kindergarten.
All right, you heard it here, folks. First, place your bets. Will it be a shorter trip or a longer trip? Find out.
Kingdom Lodge or...
Yeah, find out in 6 episodes of Travel Luminous.
I will say the first one is a pretty good probability it's going to be an Art of Animation suite, actually. So then you place your bets on which one.
Are you going to bring your mom?
I'm going to guess Nemo.
Cars?
I think I'm leaning Nemo because of the convenience.
Oh, right, because
Centralized, yeah.
The big blue pool.
Yeah, to both the big blue pool, the front, and the Skyliner, actually.
So I quickly threw this into...
Your AI overlord?
Yeah, AI, which...
Skynet.
It's interesting what it threw together. So, quick matchups. We'll just do this very fast.
Okay, rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay, I'll go first, John, you go second, and then Adam, you
Okay. So, animators and Imagineers is this first category. The first one, Walt Disney versus UB Iwerks. The founder versus the man who helped him create Mickey Mouse.
Disney.
Yeah.
I think we just got our winner.
That was like a 1 versus a 16.
Walt. Like Walt. Right. Okay, number 2.
One of these is going to be like Walt Disney versus Wally Moog, and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, right. Well, the second matchup in this category, well, there's only 2 matchups per category, but Mary Blair versus Mark Davis.
Ooh.
Davis.
Mary Blair.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. You were supposed to go first.
No, we're good.
I would go Davis.
I mean, he did a lot of great work, but iconic. Come on, Mary Blair.
I mean, sure.
You wouldn't have the mural. True, it's true.
True, but there's a lot that Mark Davis did. Anyway, voice actors. Let's keep going. Sterling Holloway versus Jim Cummings. Sterling Holloway originally voiced Winnie the Pooh, Cheshire Cat. Jim Cummings does it currently. He's still kind of older, but he does the current Winnie the Pooh. So it's like Pooh versus Pooh.
Yeah, this feels like a category for Adam here, where is not the real voice.
Yeah. Well, when you think, like, I remember the guy who originally, I know who he is. I don't know if I would, like, Jim Cummings, I know, like, he does, like, tons of voices, so it's not just Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
That's like one of the first things I expect Adam to comment on with the Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's like, oh, that didn't sound like Tiana.
Well, I gotta say though, he does Winnie the Pooh just as good as the original, honestly. So I gotta say he's incredible. So I would probably.
I was gonna let Jason give his answer.
Sorry, we're going out of order.
I'm just going with Adam on this. I feel like I deferred to him because this is his expertise. Is which voice actor sounds most authentic to how he wants.
Jim Cummings is really good.
So I would go with Cummings, and my reasoning is because not only does he do a good job of impersonating the original Pooh, but he also does like Darkwing Duck, and he did the
Pete. I think he does Pete.
Yeah, he did the intro to Reflections of Earth.
Yeah, he does a lot more than just that. Jodie Benson versus Paige O'Hara. So voice of Ariel versus voice of Belle for the original animateds. You gotta go Jodie Benson. Oh, sorry, I'm going out of order.
I'm going with Belle.
Sorry.
What was it?
You know who I'm voting for?
Jodie Benson.
I feel like you gotta go with that.
I really like them both, so I'm really kind of torn on this one. I think I'm gonna go with Jodie Benson though. Yeah.
Okay, so Jodie wins that one.
It was hard for me to be rapid there.
I know. So this is cool. Live action stars. We have Julie Andrews versus Dick Van Dyke.
Oh my!
Mary Poppins versus Bert. Like,
Mary Poppins. Julie Andrews.
Dang.
I think I like Dick Van Dyke's versatility. Like he's been in multiple Disney ones, where Julie Andrews wasn't.
Right. I feel like I gotta go Dick Van Dyke too, because he's
also in the second Mary. He's in the second Mary Poppins, right?
That too. Okay, this is a tough one because live action stars as well. Johnny Depp versus Harrison Ford.
Oh my!
What the?
I mean,
I guess Johnny Depp comes with all the baggage as well.
Well, it is Jack Sparrow versus Indiana Jones or Han Solo.
I'm thinking Disney. Johnny Depp just because I feel like he's more Disney because he's done more Disney stuff than Harrison Ford.
Yes, because Pirates is Disney. Yeah, sure.
Harrison Ford is truthfully Lucasfilm acquired by Disney. That's the difference to me.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, if we were going to measure most successful actor, obviously.
Well, yes,
Harrison Ford for me.
I can't not go with Harrison Ford. So even though John makes a great point about the Disney versus Lucasfilm thing, I can't go against Harrison Ford. He's like, Anyway,
Harrison Ford.
Okay, last one is executives and contributors. So Roy O. Disney versus Michael Eisner.
Ooh, man, that is controversial.
The brother and business partner of Walt versus the CEO led through.
What's interesting about this choice is 80s. Both of these individuals are vital to Disney's long-term success.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm going to go with Roy O. for, finishing the project, Florida project.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
On one hand, you got to question.
It's hard to rapid fire this.
Or you got to question whether or not there would be. Yeah, it is. You got to question whether or not the Florida project would have been completed without Roy.
Yeah, I know.
It likely would have, but would it have been the same? I guess I'll have to go with Roy just because there probably wouldn't be a Michael if Roy didn't finish it, I guess.
Well, see, that's why I was like, I would look at them as not, well, you can't have one without the other kind of thing, because just side by side, judging them on what they did and...
Well, like I said, they're both were vital because you question whether or not
of course.
Florida would have been completed without Roy. Then you also question whether or not Disney would have been broken up without Michael.
Who built the better park?
Ooh.
Who built the better park?
Magic Kingdom versus
technically Eisner built 2 of them.
No, and Euro Disney.
He built 3 of them. Yeah,
Euro. And he started Cruise Line. So I mean, there's a lot that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he revitalized the movies, the animated and live action.
He is the last CEO at this point to oversee the building of a park.
Well, what do you mean, Bill? Like
a full park?
Yeah,
Shanghai wasn't, or
that was already in. There was already in place, wasn't it?
Shanghai wasn't. Not
'Cause-
when
Yeah, that's an Iger one.
When did
Shanghai would
Shanghai
be
open?
2016.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Hong Kong may have been Iger.
Okay, he's the
started, but
last person to
may
oversee a domestic park. How about that?
well, there you go. Yeah, sure. A new one. All right. I mean, Roy already won that one, so it doesn't matter what my vote was.
I was thinking of Hong Kong, obviously, not Shanghai. What was that?
Yeah. But Bob Iger versus Frank Wells.
Oh, wow. Frank Wells.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Interesting.
Wells.
Well, Wells would have gone. I probably would have gone Iger.
Iger's been more of a maintainer than he has been a builder.
He
in
brought
my
in,
opinion, but-
he brought in all those properties.
Acquisition.
Yeah, he did,
theater.
but I mean that I don't. It's questionable as whether or not that was for the best interest.
Well, yeah,
I'm just
I think
saying.
the 20th Century Fox is the one that they were maybe saddled them with the most debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like I said, the thing is, there is questionable as to whether it's been in the best interest, but we'll, time will tell, I guess.
Do we bother doing a round 2 of this, or
Yes. I bet the odds makers have a heavy favorite. Let's hear it.
Walt Disney versus Mark Davis?
Wow.
Well, even though I love you, Mark,
I'll go with Walt Disney for 100. Alex?
yes,
Wow. Okay. I guess I'll go with Walt. Like, no, of course. Like, okay, Jim Cummings versus Jody Benson. Wasn't Jody that won that one? Yeah, Jody Benson.
Oh my, that's the other side of the bracket.
Pooh versus Ariel.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah.
Now, who's gonna win the final?
Actually, it's a number of characters versus Ariel.
Yeah. I think I would go with Jim Cummings on this one, actually.
I think I would too.
It's a sweep.
The
Jim
man of many
Cummings.
voices, yeah.
So
So,
Jim
yeah.
Cummings versus Walt
What is
Disney.
the
Is that what
final?
you're-
Jim Cummings. So then we have Dick Van Dyke versus Harrison Ford.
Well,
Okay, I'm gonna have to give that one to Harrison.
All right, yeah, Harrison Ford. Wow. Roy Disney versus Frank Wells.
Roy.
Right.
Roy.
Okay. All
Roy.
right, so Roy.
Roy. Oh,
So then we have Walt versus Jim Cummings.
In the heavyweight corner.
I feel like Walt has destroyed every
Botha.
person in his path.
Yeah. Walt wins that one.
Okay, so Walt wins that side. Harrison Ford versus Roy O. Disney.
I'm gonna make this a brother matchup. I'm gonna say Roy.
Roy.
I would have said Harrison Ford.
So it's
So
Roy versus
Roy
Walt.
versus Walt.
Hey, at least
Roy
it made
versus-
it fair.
Big shock.
Wait. Is it Roy or is it Walt? Brother feud has to be just. It's been in
The
the
money
family
guy versus
for all this time, and they've always wanted to settle this once and for all.
Which is
Well-
the funny thing is this would
No,
not
I
have
felt-
happened without either of them.
right.
So-
Walt was the dreamer. Roy made it happen. So
Right.
what are you gonna do?
I think it's more. Well, no, I can't.
It's
say
a
it.
tie. You just can't have one without the other.
You would have some product without Walt. Maybe not the best product. You would have
Well, you
no
wouldn't
product
have-
without Roy.
Well,
Because it just doesn't get off the ground. It all stays
would
in Walt's
have-
head pretty much.
right. You'd have ideas. It would.
Well,
without-
it would be Universal's ideas at this point, right?
but
Like
Roy
Oswald,
wouldn't
right?
have come up with these ideas without Walt. So you
Walt would
kinda-
essentially, like I said, Walt would essentially be working for Universal without Roy.
It's like a chicken or the egg situation. That's not necessarily true.
I'm just gonna say Walt because it's named after
It's
it. I mean, come
Walt.
on.
That's Walt. Yeah, of course. It's got to be Walt.
It's the Walt Disney Company.
I just wanted to see Harrison Ford versus Walt Disney.
Seriously?
That's what I was hoping.
Who shot first?
That would have been funny. So that was a taste of what we'll do next year.
Well, we just did it.
But we won't do Walt. Like Walt
We wouldn't do
can't
that.
be in it.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
Walt
no
can't
way.
be
That's like not even fair.
in it. Yeah, you can't have Walt in it.
Best American General. George Washington versus.
But Patton, I don't know.
What was his name?
Anyway.
Schwarzkopf.
Storm and Norman.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So many brackets for next year.
Yeah. Lots to do.
on our Patreon. So
Maybe. All right. Where can we be found out there on the interwebs?
Well, you have Facebook. You have Brandex. You have Instagram. So we also have a Spreadshirt store, in which you can buy your exclusive TWTM merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/TWTM podcast. And we have a YouTube channel as well. And where can you find that, Adam?
Our website, travelingwiththemouse.com. We have an email address, podcast@travelingwiththemouse.com. And there's links to all that and more there on our website. So for Jason and John, my name is Adam. This has been Traveling with the Mouse. We hope you will join us on our next trip.
what's up, everybody?
Actually, here's another tagline we could use. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep traveling with the mouse.
I see.
Terrible.
Is that
Absolutely.
what Skynet told you?
Yeah, exactly. It is actually.